hoping that you're gonna come, yeah. These are the times.
Welcome to episode 2, Getting Started. Glad you could join me. Our 3 segments today, life, fitness, and fun. We're going to get a little bit on each of those in. I'm going to start off with the life section, and I'm going to combine 2 things that are, one of them really important to all of us, I like to think, and that's safety. The other one is being informed. I like to stay informed locally because that tells me what's going on in my area and oftentimes gives me a heads up of what I need to do. Now, being informed locally, I found one of the better sources are my local television station websites. Most of your local TV news stations in your major metropolitan areas have a website, and that's where they also post all their news stories, videos, and all the other stuff that they've got going on in there. But to find out and keep abreast of what's going on around me here in my neighborhood, I go to my local TV stations. Your newspapers do have websites, but oftentimes you'll hit a paywall. You'll read a few lines of the story and they say, sorry, you have to pay if you want to read the rest of the story. Oh, thanks for letting me know ahead of time. So anyway, your local television stations, you find out who's doing what and what's happening around on the roads. Now, for me, I have actually altered my driving habits a little bit because of what I read going on around me. Let's go over here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Reading my local news on the television websites that I told you about. Over the years, I've noticed a very disturbing trend, and that is drivers drifting left of center over the double yellow line and boom, head on. I read a story this morning when I was going over my notes for this episode of one just in the next county next to me. Head-on collision, drift right over the double yellow line. The stories always say, we'll investigate further and let you know what's going on, but they rarely, if ever, do tell you why they were doing it. It can be anything from playing on their phones to whatever it is, barring a medical emergency, they're not paying attention to what they were doing. Now, here's your road, here's your oncoming car, and here's where I'm going to be. I found I tend to drive a little bit further over towards the right when I have oncoming traffic coming at me, and I'm watching it. I do not want to have somebody drift over and hit me head on if at least I don't have a chance to try to get out of the way. So with an oncoming vehicle these days, I get a little bit further over to the right. And so that's how being locally informed has changed my driving habits. Okay, so now you know I drive a little bit on the right side of the road when traffic's coming at me. I don't think it's a bad habit that I've gotten into. I don't get too far over, just enough to give myself that little extra space. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about today on Safety 2 is one of the scams that's going around. This has been going around, but it's actually gotten a little more sophisticated, and it's one that you really need to watch out for. And that is the jury duty scam. This is the way it works. You get a telephone call. You look at your telephone, your caller ID shows that it's coming from a detective or a sergeant, and it gives his name, and it gives sometimes even the police department. They're spoofing those numbers, okay? This is how the scam works. They spoof that number, and then they tell you that you've missed jury duty and that you've got to pay a fine real quick, that he talked to the judge this morning. The variations on that are a little bit different, but essentially what they're telling you is you've missed jury duty. Now, if you pay this fine real quick, they'll rescind the arrest warrant. They give it the idea that you're facing imminent arrest because you missed jury duty. Now, actually, number one, for you to be selected for jury duty, you have to be a registered voter in the county in which you reside. So if you're not registered to vote, wave that red flag right there and then, okay? Because you're not going to be picked for jury duty unless you're registered to vote. Number two, if you miss jury duty, Well, that means you didn't get your notification in the mail, and they will mail it to you saying, you've been selected for jury duty. You have to come in on this and this date and time. So if you didn't get that, that's another one. Even if for some reason you didn't get the summons, they're not going to call you up and threaten to put you in jail. Another thing that you'll notice on it is that they say, well, okay, they'll put the pressure on. Try to get this paid. They're going to want you to pay it with a gift card. They might even have a QR code. They do it different ways, but the bottom line is they're going to want to pay you to pay this fine with a gift card, something that's untraceable. Some of them have even asked for crypto. So, bottom line is, if you haven't gotten anything in the mail, odds are it is a scam. They have actually researched your local police departments and county sheriff's office, and they will have found their detective's or sergeant's name, and that's the one they'll use. So you look on the website, and there it is. The easiest way to deal with it is to hang up and call the agency they claim to be from. So that way, even if it is legit, which 99 times out of that 100, it's not going to be, then you'll find out that, yeah, they've tried to scam you. So either way, hang up and then call that department that you see on their official website. Don't call the number that the guy's given you, may actually be that number from the department, but he's not going to be there. So that's the thing with the jury duty scam. Keep your eyes open for it. It's going around. A lot of people have been taken by it because these guys are good. So watch for the jury duty scam. Okay, on to fitness. Well, this test actually is called the sit to stand test. It was developed, I believe, by the National Health System in Great Britain. It's also here in the United States too. It is not so much a diagnostic tool as it is giving you a general snapshot of what your general condition is. It's also endorsed by a group out of the United States CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, called STEADY. Interesting. And that's stopping accidents, deaths, and injuries in older people. And so I'll put your little frame up on it to show you what the general bad scores are. Also, in this video, if you go into the description of the video, I've included 2 links to go to this test, one from National Health in Britain and one from here in the United States at the CDC. It is an interesting test. I've never taken it, but you're going to watch me take it right now. Marlene's going to help me out on it. What you do to do this test at home, you need to have a chair with no arms, and it should be 17 inches from the seat to the floor. Now, this metal folding chair I got at a local big box store, 17 inches. There it is. So, all you need is a stopwatch, a friend to help you. They say you can do it by yourself holding your phone. That sounds kind of awkward to me, so Marlene's going to help me out. Let's do the sit to stand test. We're going to do it for 30 seconds to see how many times I can stand up and sit down in 30 seconds. So, okay, Marlene, I'm ready if you are.
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Time.
Man, my legs feel good. Okay, not too bad for me. Got into the mid-20s on that one. I'll go through the video footage and count, but I believe that was 24. Here's their table that shows you what the minimum scores are for your age group. Again, if you go to the description of this video, I've got 2 links in there, and you can go and do that for yourself. Well, it's our second episode, but the first episode where we're getting physical. Now, I've talked to you before about making sure that you see your doctor before you start a heavy exercise regimen. It's at the beginning of every one of my videos. And again, the big one, if you're over 45, have your cholesterol checked. I wished I'd had mine checked. I would have saved myself a fun trip to the emergency room. What I'm going to start you off with here today is a very simple stretch. And this is a stretch that you can do, I do, in bed. It doesn't get any easier than that. Now, I've spent a fair amount of my lifetime riding horses, and I had one radiologist tell my doctor, "You were right, this guy's rode horses a long time, hasn't he?" A little compression in my back vertebra there. I don't have hardly any trouble with it, but I'd like to think it's because of this, and here's something that'll help you. Flexibility is going to be a big part of the program as we go along. Here's one you can start off with in bed. Before you get up, you're laying there, and what I do in the mornings then, get the sheet off of me, bring my legs up, take my hands, and I place them right at the bottom of my knees. And then I gently pull my knees forward and hold them there. You hold them for a good 15, 20 seconds or more. Now, if you're feeling discomfort or you're feeling pulling in your legs, then ease off a little bit. Just a little bit might be okay, but you don't want to be pulling any tendons or muscles. So keep it comfortable, and you do this every morning. Do it a little bit more each day. And for me, it's great for my lower back. I don't have any problems with it in spite of all the compression I have. You can pull your heels down, pull your toes up a little bit. That adds a little stretching into your gastrocnemius and your soleus here. But here you go, your laying in bed stretch. Well, try the sit to stand test out if you like. I'm glad I didn't do too shabby for my age group, so I'm happy to see that. But yeah, my thighs were feeling it. It is harder than it looks. So now we're going to combine fun, Boomer 101, also with the fitness for today. What I'm going to do, first off, we'll start with a little bit of trivia. Now, if you've been in any health club or gym, you will more than likely have seen this piece of equipment. The guy standing there, sometimes they're on a bench pushing it up, but anyway, this is known as the Smith machine. Now, don't use your phones, don't cheat. Who invented the Smith machine? I'll tell you that in a little bit. Now, for Boomer 101, you younger generations may or may not have heard of this gentleman that I'm talking about, but he's actually a big inspiration for where I am now at my age of 69 years old and still going at it fairly well. This was a guy who opened his first gym in 1936. And his first television show came on in 1953. First, it was only just a 15-minute segments. And over the years, it was actually aimed at housewives, your traditional housewives that stayed home back then. And as the years went by, it just got bigger and bigger. I'm talking about my man, Mr. Jack Lalanne. Now here's him in his trim days back in the 1950s. That jumpsuit was his trademark. And this is a still from one of his television shows. He kept at it. Now here's one. This picture you see right here, that was him at the age of 90, still pumping the iron. Jack was great. Now, there are plenty of videos of him, if you haven't checked them out, right here on YouTube. Go check them out. You'll find them. You know, at the age of 70, that's my birthday coming next year, he got in the water and he pulled 70 boats, just plowing through the water. He was a madman, but he was something else as far as fitness went. Jack made it to 95 years of age. Might have been 96, I'll have to double check on that. But I do know this much. He went down, he finally met his end, from what I read, because he didn't go see a doctor. Where have I heard that before? Anyway, Jack had pneumonia, and he refused to see the doctor, had a fever. He still, the day before he died, did his 2-hour workout routine. The man was unstoppable. But anyway, he's been my inspiration for my keeping fit, and I hope that will continue to rub off on you folks out there. Again, you younger generations, Jack Lalanne started it all. Matter of fact, if you go to any major health club or even your privately owned one, guess who started the first one? Yeah, it was Jack. He was amazing. So there's Boomer 101, a little bit of fitness mixed in, and let's get things wrapped up. Okay, this wraps up part 1 of Getting Started. Next episode, we're going to be talking about equipment and a few other things to get us started off on the road to better fitness in our older years, and you young folks too. It's okay. In the meantime, though, until next one, well, like we're going to be getting into the habit, in the words of Brother Red Green, remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together.
Welcome to the strangest party, baby. It's like we're staring at the sun. Everybody's got the invitation, hoping that you're gonna come, yeah. These are the times, these are the crimes. What are we waiting for? What are we hating for? You're part of the solution, or part of the problem. You're gonna have to dance with one.